Before we begin in today's video, I'd like to give a shout out to two of our newest subscribers, Robert Burton, and I'm going to pronounce this incorrectly, so I do apologize. El Juanma. I'm guessing that's supposed to be Juan there, Juan. I do apologize if I pronounced that incorrectly, but nonetheless, thank you both for subscribing, and welcome to the family. And now on with today's video. I do not understand the stereotype for Catholic priests, or any priest, really. Why is it that the stereotype for the average priest is that they are disgusting predators that creep on anyone? I don't understand why that is a stereotype, especially when we have a very profound verse in our Bibles that tells us to not do this. Matthew chapter 5. You have heard that it was said, you shall not commit adultery. I tell you that anyone who looks at a woman lustfully has already committed adultery with her in his heart. If your right eye causes you to stumble, gouge it out and throw it away. It is better for you to lose one part of your body than for your whole body to be thrown into hell. And if your right hand causes you to stumble, cut it off and throw it away. It is better for you to lose one part of your body than for your whole body to go into hell. So yeah. Why this stereotype exists is beyond me. We have this verse that tells us, hey, you're going to go to hell if you do this, you idiot. So it is best for you to get rid of whatever it is that is causing you to stumble. Get rid of your eyes if you see incorrectly. Get rid of your hand if it is being bad. Just get rid of those items so that you yourself are not thrown away. Speaking of creepy Catholic priests, let's talk about today's topic, Judge Claude Frollo. Greetings, my dear viewers. It is I, Drehon, and welcome back to Dungeons & Dragons Character Conversion, where we take a look at characters from across media and bring them in to Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition as a playable character. Today is actually going to be a week-long thing for Judge Claude Frollo, because it is a viewer request by Underhill. Now, I don't remember which system they wanted Judge Claude Frollo in, whether it be Dungeons & Dragons or Pathfinder, so I'm just going to do both. Today we're going to be putting Judge Claude Frollo into Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition, and on Thursday we are going to have him as a Pathfinder 2nd edition build. So if you are a Pathfinder enthusiast, wait until Thursday for your chance to see that build. But without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into today's build. Judge Claude Frollo. Stereotypical, creepy stereotype for the Catholic priest. And we'll get more into his actual role here in a second. But Judge Claude Frollo is going to have the following stats to start things off. Strength will be an 8, Dexterity will be a 9, Constitution will be an 11, Intelligence will be a 15, and Charisma will be a 13. For his race, he is going to be human, classic human, giving us a 30-foot movement speed, languages of common and undercommon, and also increasing each of our ability scores by 1, since we are classic human and not variant human. For our background, we are going with the Acolyte. This is because he is a servant of the Christian God. Technically, that whole entire Christianity tree, since he is part of the Catholic Church. Now, a thing about Judge Claude Frollo is that in the original novel, Judge Claude Frollo was actually labeled as an archdeacon, not as a judge. So where did the term judge come from if he was an archdeacon? Well, judge actually is a Catholic term, ecclesiastical judge. They possess ecclesiastical jurisdiction either in general or in a strict sense, and they have jurisdiction over all the baptized people within their church. So that could be why Disney decided to go with the ecclesiastical judge instead of the archdeacon, which technically that would give him more power than he would have in his original outing in the Hunchback of Notre Dame novel. But in either case, as an acolyte, he gets access to proficiencies in insight and religion, 2 languages of your choice, and the feature Shelter of the Faithful. So let's go ahead and start things off with our class. We're going to go into Rogue. That's right, not a cleric, a rogue. While he is a servant of God, the Christian God, he doesn't get the clerical powers. Technically, no priest does. Priests of the Christian faith haven't gotten access to God's divine power in a very long time. That's reserved for prophets or the disciples. So, yeah, the last person who actually got access to divine power by serving God was a prophet. And Judge Claude Frollo is no prophet. And actually, if you take a look at the secondary paragraph that I put up on screen during the background, you can actually see that Judge Claude Frollo, while was definitely a very good father figure and a very good Catholic, it does raise an eyebrow of why he turned evil, because he did seem like a very good person. He taught sign language to Quasimodo, which could account for the rogue's thieves' ability. He was a respected scholar and studied several languages, laws, medicine, science, and technology. And he became infatuated with alchemy, which we'll get into here in a second. But as a rogue, you get the following traits. Hit die is a 1d8. Hit points is going to be 8 plus your constitution modifier. Proficiencies is going to be light armor, simple weapons, hand crossbows, longsword, rapier, short sword. You get thieves' tools, saving throws are dexterity and intelligence. For your skills, we're going to go with deception, intimidation, investigation, and perception. You'll get expertise in religion and intimidation, and you get access to thieves' attack, sneak attack, and thieves' cant. Now for our multi-class, and like I stated, Judge Claude Frollo was actually infatuated with alchemy, so the best course of action here is to quickly go into Artificer. We're not going to stay here very long. We are mostly going to be doing Rogue for this build, but we are going to have some levels of Artificer because of that little bit of flavoring for Judge Claude Frollo's character. For your Artificer, you get access to a d8 hit die with extra hit points equal to 1d8 plus your Constitution modifier per Artificer level. For your extra proficiencies, you'll get access to medium armor, shields, and tinker's tools. You have access to the feature Magical Tinkering and spell casting that uses your intelligence modifier. At level 2 Rogue, you'll get access to Cunning Action, Level 3 rogue, we're going to go with the Inquisitive. A sort of a standard for any sort of priest, I would suppose. Since you are there to take people's confessions, you would have this ear for deceit and eye for detail. And in Judge Claude Frollo's case, since he is a renowned scholar, he would definitely have this eye for detail that the Inquisitives had. Especially the insightful fighting trait. Probably not used that often since he isn't in a fight that often. You also have access to steady aim just for being a 3rd level rogue. At level 2 Artificer, we get access to Infuse Item, yet another trait that's probably not going to be used that often, but I'm sure there are some infusions that will work in Frollo's favor. At level 4 Rogue, we get access to an ability score improvement, but we're going to go for a feat instead, and that will be Skill Expert. This will give us a +1 to our strength. Skill proficiency will be medicine, and we'll go ahead and go straight into expertise in medicine. We are a scholar after all, and we do have access to studies in medicine and in alchemy. So it makes sense to have expertise in medicine. Going into level 3 Artificer for our perfect flavor of the Artificer Specialist, the Alchemist. Since we are infatuated with alchemy, it makes the most sense to have the Alchemist as a secondary trait. You'll get 2 proficiencies in Alchemist supplies. Your Alchemist spells are Healing Word and Ray of Sickness. You also get access to Experimental Elixir. Next is the level 5 Rogue with their Uncanny Dodge. Going to level 6 Rogue will give us expertise once again, but this time we're going for Deception and Perception. At level 7 Rogue will get access to Evasion. Level 8 Rogues will get access to the Constitution modifier for our ability score increase, making it a 14. At level 4 Artificer, we'll go ahead and increase our intelligence by 2, making it an 18. Level 9 Rogues get access to Steady Eye, thanks to the Inquisitive Roguish archetype. At level 10 Rogue, we get access to another ability score improvement, but I'm going to go with the Healer feat instead. This will give us access to more uses of the Healer's Kit. Since we are a scholar of medicine, this makes perfect sense. Being able to use the Healer's Kit a bit more proficiently. At level 11 Rogue, we get access to Reliable Talent. And level 12 Rogue will go ahead and grab the ability score improvement this time and increase our intelligence to 20, making it its maximum capacity. At level 13 Rogue, we get Unerring Eye. And level 14 Rogue, we get access to Blind Sense. Now, from here, we don't actually have any use for the higher level Rogue features, so we're going to use these last 2 levels to go into Artificer. At level 5 Artificer, we get access to Alchemical Savant and the Alchemist spells of Flaming Sphere and Melf's Acid Arrow. And level 6 Artificer gets access to Tool Expertise, which definitely makes sense. And I just realized that I forgot to put in the feature Right Tool for the Job as part of 3rd level Artificer. I do not know how I keep forgetting that, but it would definitely work in favor for Judge Claude Frollo. Again, being able to have access to these tools definitely works for a scholar of medicine and someone who is infatuated with alchemy. Now, with that being said, that is the end of today's build, but not the end of the video. Since we did get access to Artificer levels, we have access to spells. So for our spells, I have this list here. This is just a recommendation, you do not have to go for it yourself, but I thought that the following spells would work perfectly for Judge Claude Frollo. For your cantrips, we have access to Guidance and Prestidigitation. Your first level spells are going to be Alarm, Expeditious Retreat, False Life, Purify Food and Drink, and of course, Sanctuary. just as a nod to some of the characters calling out for sanctuary. At 2nd level, we have the spells Aid, Lesser Restoration, and Pyrotechnics. And with that being said, I do hope that you enjoyed today's video. Once again, if you are looking for this build in the Pathfinder style, I will be doing the build for that on Thursday. So stay tuned for that. Until next time, this has been Drehon, and I am offline.